morning. It is Treasury report season again. And this might be the last Treasury report that I ever do. So yeah, let's see. Maybe we can wipe code something up to have a more permanent version, but we will see. We are starting as always with the balance sheet today. If this is your first Treasury report, I will give you a bit of context. So what you can put in your favorite search engine is the term Polkadot Treasury report. And it will pop up these reports on the Polkadot forum. And they give you a complete overview over everything that has been going on in the Polkadot Treasury in the recent time. So most of the time it's a quarterly Treasury report. I've been doing this every quarter. And this time we will review the whole year of 2025. And yeah, that's gonna be it. So there is one time critical thing here, which is the balance sheet, because it's the balance sheet on the day of the snapshot, and the snapshot date is the last day of the quarter or the first day of the new quarter. So what I did is I took a copy of the last Treasury report, and this is where I'm starting off today. And this one is mostly going to be clicking on the links that I've saved here in the past, taking the current values, popping them in, and that's it mostly. And typically this goes very fast, like half an hour, an hour. So we will just dive into that. And the first thing we will do is get the closing price of .USD from yesterday. So this is the chart from it's the daily chart on the .USD price, and this is the 31st of December, and our closing price was 1.81. 1.81. So this is the value that I'm taking here, 1.81. So that's down more than half from the last quarter. Okay, so that's our base value. And now we will just go through all of the links. And what we will have at the end is a balance sheet that tells us exactly how much value the Treasury has. So at the end of the last quarter, we saw that it was $114 million or $27.8 million. So if we take the .USD exchange rate, that would be the session. You can, of course, you can, of course, join the chat on Twitter and YouTube. I also posted a link to this on chat that I've been building. It's on-chain chat. So I will be following this also, and this one will be on screen. All right. Okay, heading into it. The one thing that we can expect that is different this quarter is that Polkadot Hub actually became the main place for all DOT tokens. So it's possible that the Treasury doesn't even live anymore. It lives, but it only has 714 DOT. So curious to understand when this happened, why it is just 714 DOT. Yeah, okay. We will call this the relay chain account now. This is no longer the main account. So This is the relay chain account. Or just relay chain. And the value we have here, this was expected, is 714, 715, 715. Okay. So, and we would expect much more dot here on this side on Asset Hub. But there is, okay, so this moved into a module now. Interesting. But there's stables now. Okay, so there is a new main account. There's a new main account. Let me add this one here. Asset Hub dot Treasury main account. It's the new main account. And in the new main account, we have all the dot accumulated. So that's almost 18 million dot. And then we have 4.2 million USDT. Okay, wait, so we have to Hey, Happy New Year, Poker World. Happy New Year to you too. I guess you're celebrating in about a month or two for the Chinese New Year. So, okay, so this is also Treasury main account. And then this is the old Asset Hub main account, I guess. Which I think was derived or something. Okay, so in this new main account, we have 4.2 million USDT. And we have 2.89 bang. Okay. So, and then in the old Treasury account, there is a little bit of USDT and USDC sitting, which I think will likely be lost, is my guess. I guess this was a 1 block difference or something during the... Good, so I will copy the formula here and here, and we copy this formula. Okay, and then we will have to see how the stablecoin accounts are doing, if they changed. Wait, let me see if there's any other values. Okay, not here. And here we have some wood, we have some debt, we have all kinds of stuff, and NFTs even. Champunks. Okay. Someone gifted the Treasury Champunks. Okay. Good. Okay, so looking at the hydration account. This was for a stablecoin campaign too. And last time our situation was we had a bunch of DOT left, not too much, but a bit, and some USDT, USDC. Oh, by the way. Yeah. So, and now, how is the situation now? DOT is gone. A bit of USDT and USDC is left. So I would say the campaign is done mostly. I will put the values there, even though it's often dust and nothing happens anymore. But anyways. So USDT. Ah, no, this is USDC. USDC. USDT. And then we have A dot. 56 A dot. We have some dot here. No, 2 dot. Anyways, I think we will leave it like this. Okay, and then let's see how the other campaign went. Okay, this one is still going on. And we have about half from what we had last time. And then we have some USDT. And we have some USDC. And then we will have our first sum. Okay, so what I see right now, we will have to check if there's an additional stablecoin campaign going on. And the sum needs to be extended. So starts at 8. Starts at 8. Okay, so what I do see is 23 million DOT and 42 million USD. And let's open up the Treasury report from the last time, so we have a comparison. Okay, so last time we had 19.5 million DOT. Now we have 23 million DOT equivalent. Last time we had 80 million USD. This time we have 42 million USD equivalent. So what's that? I think we can remove that stuff here. Oh, maybe not this here. Okay. I think the block hashes can go at least. Good. Okay. Let's look at the fellowship spending account. Fellowship spending account has 1.7, almost 1.8 million DOT. So they spent about 60,000 DOT. Okay. Let's check the fellowship salary account. I think I stopped calling it salaries last time, but this has a million USDT. So I think it will have to be refilled. I think it's spending about, I forgot, it's a pretty round number. It's like 100,000 or 200,000 USDT per month. Let's check the aggregated pivots spends. So this is where is the monthly spending here? It's okay. It has been creeping up to 120,000. So, but it's still like half a year of fellowship left. So I would say in the next quarter, so it would be time to start looking into this. Okay, so did I change the wrong table? I changed the wrong table. Okay, so fellowship treasury account and fellowship salary account. So we'll have the numbers in a second. And then the MIF distribution multisig has 3 million MIF that was not returned. And the price is now 1.7 cents. No. $1.0. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what we have in designated asset is $11 million. Bounties. Bounties need to get updated. Bounties need to get updated, and we're pulling that value from the bounties table. So that's a sub quest we're opening up now. It's a sub quest. And so that means typically it's easiest to just open each tab manually. But maybe for the next vibe coding session, we can automate more of this stuff for the future. And I think since we will be done with the balance sheet pretty soon, we might have a little bit of time to completely redo this tool to something much more appealing. These bounties are already closed. Don't need to open them. Meetups bounties next. Infrastructure builders, UX bounty. So, and then let's see if any new bounties came up. Nope. And we will have a comparison here if we did the sum correctly. Good. So I'm gonna split the view. Okay, bounty 10, 1 dot. Anti-scam. 25, Free Friday. Community events, 17. 382,000. 382,000. Wasm smart contracts bounty 58,000. Polkadot Assurance Legion 526,630. Moderation team bounty is at the same position it was last time. No. Oh. Okay, last time it had 315,000 dot. Today it has 315 dot. No. Okay. Assets on ramp. Yeah. Public RPCs has 65,550 dot. System parachains collator bounty has 9,870 dot. Marketing bounty proposal has 1 dot. Okay, let's make it 0. Let's make this one to 0 too. Why is the account not getting fully cleared? DeFi infrastructure and tooling bounty. Oh, this one got a refill. Wow, this got a big refill. 862,190. Okay, Paseo. Wait, so games bounty is at 0. No. Did I open up games bounty? But games bounty should be at 0. No, 4,000. 4,000. Okay. Bam. Where's Paseo? Paseo's here. Paseo's 5,400. Okay. Meetups bounty 3,000 dot. Polkadot Kusama bridge. Same as last time. Infrastructure builders program 432,890 dot. Polkadot UX bounty 1 dot. So I consider this closed. Open source developer grants 51970. Polkadot legal bounty 67580. Polkadot fast grants bounty 22,270. And OG Rust bounty, I guess 161,410. Good. So this is the sum of all the dot we have, and in the bounties. And if we compare it with this screen, we come out at the same total, 2.77 million dot. So if we go back to the balance sheet, we have that pulled up here. And so this is our result. So we can close this and we can compare the values to last time. And what we can see is that last time we had 6.2 million, 6.3 million dot dedicated assets. It's 5.1 million dot now. And I think it's mostly about this getting closed. So this is, I think, also why dot moved over into the current assets. And the same with the cash amount, which is down from $25 million to $9 million. All right, Omnipool. Let's check the Omnipool. If this is still working. Okay, so the Treasury has 25,000, it made 5,000 dot in a quarter, which is 0.5%. This is the wrong table. Okay, so for Bifrost liquidity and the pendulum faults, I don't have a more current link. Let's see if they posted an update. Okay, so no update has been posted. I assume this is still the same. And I think pendulum has been silent on this forever. So I would consider these values to be the same. And that means I think we have a preliminary balance sheet of 30 million dot. $30.3 million dot and 55 million USD. Okay, let's check out the liabilities. Fellowship contributor rewards. Maybe I should call it salaries again. What is it called in the gray? I was just looking it up in the technical fellowship manifesto. Compensation. No, it's an allowance. It's an allowance. Let's call it allowances. Allowances payable. So what did we do here? I did an estimation of the what is currently eligible, and then this was extrapolated. I think this is good. And then grants payable. Okay, let's check this out. So grants payable is grants payable. What screen is this? I think I need to update all the referenda and the Treasury. And then is it on the side calculation? No. Outstanding claims. And then it's this one. Oh, by the way, no, there is another thing. The 3 million hauler. What about the 3 million hauler on the are they on the people chain? Was it a root proposal? So, okay, that one's gonna be interesting. So Polkadot.subsquare.io. I think it was a root proposal. What track? It was the root track. Animate Citizen. Polkadot People Initiative. Okay, so let's look into the call. I think the first one was buying it, and then a second one was telling hydration to withdraw the schedule. Not periodic. It withdraws assets from Asset Hub. USDT buys execution. And then, yeah, my guess is this is the people chain. And then this is an execution for the people chain. Or is it for hydration? Transact. So where do we want to there's multiple transact instructions. Did I miss that? There is multiple transaction instructions. I guess one for USDT and one for USDC. So these very likely go to hydration. Let me check. There's origin by execution. Yeah, so this is executed on hydration. And I guess this tells it to send it to a certain account. So we will take a look at one of those. And we will go to hydration. No, not Sana. And we will decode this extrinsic. Yeah, so, and it creates a DCA schedule to sell whatever token, USDT, USDC, and I suppose Holler 222, get Holler. Okay, and the owner is this account. So does it mean We don't see this account, but I guess the format was right. Nah, the format is different. So maybe we need to recode hydration.subscan.io. Maybe we need to recode the address. No, hydration should be right. Empty. It's not liquidity, but it has wallet. Does it have something? It has Holler. Okay, so it has 3 million Holler sitting here. And there is a bit of USDC and USDT. So it was buying Holler at a discount. Interesting. Cool. Let's add this account to our balance sheet. These are, I would say, designated assets. Let's put them here. No. Ambassador program. Let's put them here. So this is Holler. And this currently sits on hydration. And it is it is for the people initiative. So, and this is linking to, no, it's linking to, we can say it links to, maybe I can steal that parameter and inject it here. Yeah, this looks good. Good. So we have Holler and this sits on hydration and it's for the people initiative. It's for the Polkadot people initiative and we are linking to this address and we have 3 million Holler. So, and then we apply a formula, this goes fed, USDC, USDT, and then let's apply some formatting. So this is USDT. This is USDC. And this is hydration number. Hold on. This ruins my formatting. I hate it. Can we fix this somehow? Or we'll just make it USD. Everything here is from USD. Much better. Okay, let's see the formula. Is the sum correct? Yep. Okay, this pushes our balance to $32 million. And that is equivalent to $58 million. All right. How do I continue? I could go on to grants payable. But for that, I would have to update everything, and I might want to go into a vibe coded format for this. I think we take a break here from this task. And what I want to do is actually refactor the whole code base to output to a website and actually change the whole updating logic. Or actually, I want to redo the whole application. I think that would be better. The OpenGov monitor. And I think that's what we're starting with. So, okay, then gonna take a screenshot of this. Share it. So it's 25, 12, 31. I'm gonna share this. Some friends. Oops. And then we're white coding again. Preliminary. Let me quickly share this. Okay, I will take an ultra short break. Just grab a little snack, and then we will be vibe coding. We will be building the OpenGov monitor. Let me show you the OpenGov monitor. And I think we will redo it. Or at least some parts. Or put a website behind it. And actually replace stuff from the Polkadot Treasury report and make that big Excel into a website. I think that would be awesome. I've been dreaming about this for a very long time, and I think AI is ready. And yeah, I wanted to show you the OpenGov monitor. Where is it? OpenGov Watch. Ooh, I accidentally moved the folder. Okay, OpenGov Watch. OpenGov monitor. So It's this thing here. It's a constantly updated list of all the proposals that are hitting OpenGov. Now we might even just work with a local database, and the augmentation that we're doing here manually, the categorization, maybe we do that extra. We make that via UI. We completely redo that. I think that's much better. Okay, so get ready. You know what? Get a tea. Get snacks. I mean, I guess you're playing World of Warcraft anyways, but whatever. I'm getting tea, I'm getting snacks, and then we will make a cool governance dashboard. See you in a minute. Okay, I think the plan is as follows. We will first of all review the existing code base from the OpenGov monitor and let Claude write the spec. So open folder, code, data, OpenGov monitor. So, and then make sure we see our chat. Fire up Claude. Okay, so connection lost, reconnecting. Back I am. Okay, so I want to make a new attempt at building this application. No, I want to completely redo this application. The basic logic of pulling data from subsquare, putting it into a DB, and updating a DB should, what's going on? Stay the same, but instead of Google spreadsheet. I want to use a proper, maybe e.g. SQLite proper. And then have a nice rendering UI website, nicely rendered website. Please review the code base and write a migration plan. You can consult me on questions. Okay, for the migration plan, I think the so I think we could go by the we write the specification first, right? Create a folder called migration and create a spec.md for the new application. We want, should we go by the API? Should we go by the API? Yes. There's so much business logic. Start by describing the overall flow of the application. Describe configuration. Describe the logic, describe the API and business logic currently represented in subsquare. Should it stay Python? I think it should stay Python. Write the spec neutral so that it could apply to the current app or a completely new one. Okay, so look at the spoon. So currently I'm unsure if we should completely refactor, like completely redo the application, or if we perform a major refactoring. So I want to see the specification first, because then I think it's easier to make a judgment of how to proceed. And even going from the existing specification might be a bit too much, from the existing code might be too much. But the thing is, there is so many special cases in there that are already covered that I don't want to redo. So I think a refactoring or very exact specification might do better. And I think like Claude has become very good, but I think it's still cheating a lot when it's writing specifications. So I think a refactoring works better. So let me prepare my tea. And I think by then we have the specification. All right, what do we have here? Let's see. Specs allow edits. So specmd. This is written good. Very good. I like this. Hello. How you doing, mate? Inoxide. Thank you for visiting. Good. Load configuration from config.yaml. Create data provider and sync instances. Okay, so it describes it still as a fixed process, which is actually fine for the update process. I think we will just change the data sync and we will change it to an update logic. I think that will solve all our problems. Just change it to SQLite, and then we can put the front-end server behind it. So we just change the sync. Yeah. And then some other things will flow much easier. Yeah. Yeah, this is very good. Just put a proper database behind it and not Google spreadsheet. Okay, so That's good. I feel like I have some clarity. That's a good start. The file is very long. Find some reasonable ways to split it into few files specifying specific, can't write, specific parts. Good. Yeah. Okay. So the prompt we want to prepare is we want to introduce a new data sync, SQLite. This should make the whole updating existing entries logic much simpler than the current system. Go into plan mode and plan the introduction of this new sync. And then once we have the new sync, we can build a frontend and look at the frontend and then go from there. Hi, Piki. Wie geht's? Gut. AI coding is that we can just have nice things now. We can just build nice frontends. We can just wish for very practical things and they're built fast. And I think 2026 is going to be a great year for just building cool applications. I'm gonna briefly mute myself until I'm done eating. Lol. Danke, Piki. Okay, so yeah, not sure how long you've been tuning in, Piki. It's basically started with me doing the treasury report, and since it might be the last treasury report, and Opus 4.5 is the first model where I think you can just really, it works fairly reliably. I was thinking to put everything to more on a permanent base. And so the OpenGov monitor is currently feeding into a Google spreadsheet. But since it's becoming easier to maintain that stuff and stabilize it, I'm trying to make it into a proper application now. So this is what we will see now. So in terms of software architecture, you can see it on screen actually. In terms of software architecture, so this is a flow, this is a data flow. You pull data from an external API, you transform it, and then you put it somewhere. You put it in a sink, data sink. And so currently our data sink is the Google spreadsheet. And so what I'm doing is I'm adding an additional sink, a new sink, which we call SQLite sink. So it's a database. It's an SQLite database. And so the idea is, instead of putting in and the idea originally for the Google spreadsheet was you can very quickly, you go to the website and the Google spreadsheet is the user interface, right? So it was also intended to very easily be able, you can add your own nodes, but then the table will update by magic. Yeah. So this was the idea. And I didn't have the capacity to build a full-fledged application. But now with Opus, I do. So I'm replacing the Google spreadsheet with a proper SQL database, and then we put, so that's the data fetching flow, and then we can put a server there that spawns a front end, and it pulls data from the database and presents it to the user. And then we just need to solve how do we allow users to annotate it with their own information. Yeah. And the annotation that we did was in the Treasury report. So because this is the OpenGov monitor. It's a list of all referenda. It's a list of all child bounties that have ever been paid out. It's a list of all Treasury payment that have ever been made, right? So it's lists. And we get these lists by pulling it from the Subsquare API. And then based on those lists, I was building very complicated reporting. So this is actually already database work that I'm doing here. It's just presented as a very complex table that is then hidden. And then I'm pivoting. So I'm basically doing similar to SQL select. And I realized this over the last years, when you start out as a software developer, you tend to build everything as software. And what I realized when I had to work with a lot of data pipelines, in a lot of cases, it's just a reasonable thing to not build an application. I mean, that was true until last year, maybe. Let's see. I think it was actually true until last year. Maybe I think the paradigm changed now. But until last year, it was true. In a lot of cases, it's better not to build your own software, but just put it in Excel and make a pivot table or something. Yeah. And then, so from all of these pivot tables, I actually could gain all that insights, right? And then I could make charts out of that. So that was my production pipeline. Pull data from Subsquare, put it in a spreadsheet, and then apply all kinds of transformations, and then you make beautiful charts out of it, and you look at the data and you read it, right? But these are actually different. This is like very, very similar to it's actually basically a bunch of SQL, not joins, but sort of transformations, and then you put data next to each other. So, so I'm thinking, let's maybe we can vibe code this now properly. Okay, what do we have? Proper database. Here's a summary. Good. Okay, so what is okay, what is necessary to run the flow now? You didn't write instructions. Run it now. See if it works. Write docs, update specs if necessary. Specs should actually be in a subfolder of docs, since implementation details are also documented in docs and are separate from spec. Okay, so we have our database now, and it's built, and we can take a look at it. So it's Google, there's SQLite, and we have a data schema. So these are classes. This is like a class. This is what does the table look like? No, this is very basic. Columns. Okay, so we have a referender table with an ID that's an integer that's true. URL is text, title is text, status could be text is fine, I guess. Dot proposal time is a real value. Should be a big int. Real value is okay. Actually, real value is okay. Track text should be a number. But these are details. Proposal time timestamp. Latest status change timestamp. These are calculated values. We will just test it out, and then we see what breaks, and then we will fix that. I think that's the best for web coding. If it's not a proper app, you can be fast and furious. So, and then it will be time that we will launch our own second agent. Let's just launch it now. It will be fine. Claude. But we were very blessed with. Okay, but we're doing fine. Doing fine. Okay, so docs are getting updated. Okay, so with the data model and spec, yeah, it's good. All done. Here's the summary. Okay, so we need to run. We need the config YAML that we have, network connection to Subsquare, no credentials needed, flow test. Okay. Update the README. Make sure instructions to run past ones and new ones are close to the top. Okay. Plan mode. I want you to build a front end that renders out the tables that we have in our SQLite database. Check out docs. So the index, we have proper links here. We actually don't need that. We just need the data models. Data models. So how do we render that? I think I still want to learn more about TypeScript and React. And it's okay. It will know how to build it. To know what to render. Okay, so our README is updated. Okay. So I guess that's a Polkadot DB. And let's just try it out. Okay, it's the same app. It throws the same warnings. This is good. I think throwing these warnings into the UI now would be good. So so I want to create a table with all the logs. All the logs. Yeah, all the logs. Okay, so we are plan mode. We are using the logging facility throughout the application. I would like a log sync into a database table in our SQL database. Should it be the same? No, it should be into a SQLite, into a separate SQLite database. Flask or Ginger? Why do you recommend Flask? What is Ginger 2? Ginger 2. Templating engine. Why do you prefer Flask plus Ginger over React? we will need, so it is asking what features we need for our front end. And I will say we will need a full dashboard experience later. But for a start, I only want to render the existing tables. What I want for the tables already is to have sorting, filtering, pagination, search. Yeah. Export, saving and loading the current view, saving and loading the current view locally. Okay, we'll would like a log sync into database table into separate SQLite database. It should have the columns timestamp, source, log level, content, extra. Timestamp, source, log level, content, extra. So Wipe Coding ist für Non-Seasoned Devs mindblowing. 26 wird mit den Improvement Speed im Bereich Coding wieder Maßstäbe setzen. Würde die Zeit zusätzlich Design, Pattern lernen etc. verbringen, um besser als zu orchestrieren. Deutsche Sprache, schwere Sprache. Yeah, yes, so the field that it's interesting because in my mind this was always registered as software design. So like I had always these 3 layers of software engineering, software design, and software architecture. And recently I've been looking how they talk about this in the Anglosphere, and there it's system design. So system design is basically 2 levels, coding and system design. But system design is the topic to look into, and there is an interesting channel which is called Hello Interview, and they are actually presenting this in a very good way. The YouTube channel is called Hello Interview. I'll post it in the chat here. Okay, so I was asking, why do you prefer Flask, so Python-based frontend versus a TypeScript and React-based frontend? I already have a Flask app with an existing deployment pipeline. I see. Yeah, I also think that React is better. React is always better. Recently. Yeah. Okay, React and White. I was thinking so. So REST API from Flask. I guess yes, we can use the backend API from Python. I don't know. Direct SQLite via Wasm. Ooh. Nah. No, we're not loading it. This is awesome. Do we have a Flask application actually? but this is, no, you can ignore the Flask. The Flask is just a helper right now. You should not make it a concern. What would be the natural choice when you had a green field? Okay, so we're creating a log sync. With an SQLite handler. Separate database. JSON for extra, no batching. Each log written immediately. Sometimes we have bursts of writes of logs. Maybe should batch them somehow. Okay, so yeah, I'm actually also going to learn more system design and coding next few days. For a true greenfield with SQLite and React, the natural choice would be Next.js or Next.js. Server components can read SQLite directly. No separate API layer needed. Full stack React in one project. Oh, I see. Okay, so so Next.js is like a server-side rendering for React. What is it? Versal. Yeah. So it's a React framework. Data fetching. Client and server rendering. Interesting. Yeah, okay, let's do that. That sounds awesome. Cool. Learning a new thing. Where should the front-end project live? Separate directory in repo? Yes. Yeah, so monorepo is good. Monorepo, and it might also require to change some of the existing directory structure. Okay, what styling approach do you prefer? Tailwind CSS? Utility first CSS, fast development, consistent design, most popular choice. Schatzen UI plus Tailwind. Why is Schatzen great for dashboards? Schatzen UI. The foundation for your design system. A set of beautifully designed components that you can customize, extend, and build on. Start here, then make it your own. Open source, open code, dashboards. Ooh, fancy. Yeah. So, Material UI. Material UI, I think Material UI. Don't know. React component. How should I make that decision? I mean, yeah, no, maybe not Material UI. I mean, this looks like it is kind of slow. Is it slow? What's going on? Okay, so Shazen. I haven't heard of it yet. But, wow. I see it's a It's prepared components. But this website is slow, and my computer is not slow. What's going on? And but this is not React. Is it React? Tailwind. Pre-built accessible components using Tailwind. Why do you suggest pure Tailwind over Schatzen plus Tailwind? All right. Okay, our logging database is ready. No batching. Okay, wait. I asked you why you don't want batching, and you with batching is complete. So what's the batch size? Make sure that at the end of the process logs are flushed. Okay, monorepo is suggested to be backend, frontend. Data, docs. Sounds good. All right. Good. Okay, we're writing the logging. We're writing the front end. So what we will have next is a basic front end. We write out our log messages, which I need because OpenGraph, like the OpenGraph backend is constantly evolving, and that means stuff is always breaking because something is new in OpenGraph that was not anticipated before. So every quarter, I need to write new logic to handle what was there before. And so typically how I do it is that I try to keep the application resilient, like it progresses and it tries to create some result, but it might be imprecise. And we're swapping that, we are accepting that imprecision by pushing out logs that point to what's going wrong. And then when we check out the logs, we can actually fix the code behind it. Vibing. Okay, so left task is going to be free again soon. Cool. Update the docs. Okay, now we're restructuring to the monorepo. So that's gonna be fun because that's the point where typically you make very slight changes and then stuff can break. Okay, so restructuring to the monorepo. What did I want to want? I wanted to think about a user account system where you can actually have an admin account. Maybe it's just an admin account that can write the categories, I guess. It would be good to prepare the transformations that later happen in the follow-up steps. But how do we do that? Like, okay, I think maybe this is something that I will ask in the browser version. So Polkadot Treasury report 2025 Q3. Okay, so I write the quarterly Polkadot Treasury report. And then we need a link to the sheet. How does it look like from the outside? I will just give you the Excel. Download Excel. Something about this process is slow. Okay, download was working. Which results in the following in the attached report. Are you able to go through the tables and cross-reference the formulas used with the results? I think the context is too big for that. Results in the report to determine the actual workflows necessary to produce the report. And then, yeah. Let's just see what happens. Printf. Oh, cute. It writes a program to read all the formulas. Ooh. Okay, so it's writing small programs to look into the data, but basically to gather knowledge. Interesting. I'm really curious to learn if it can actually like understand what's going on, because so far every time I was feeding this sheet with the like just mountains and mountains of pivot tables, it was just did not make any sense to the model. So this one is the first one that at least attempts to read into it. It's also interesting because it understood that it should reverse engineer the process, but it did not look at the result first. It looked first at the data, and then it looked at the result, which is not the right direction. Okay, this is good. Raw data sources is good. Aggregated income. Wow, okay, this actually works. It understands there is an aggregation layer. Nice. Nice. This is really good. This is really good. I think we will use this as a base. Cool. We will work with that. Okay, this fulfills the task, but it's not super helpful afterwards. But I think it works as a start. At least like the thing at the beginning, the architecture diagram was useful. $32,000 formulas. Crazy. But stable flows is also derived. I mean, it's okay. It works as a start. Does it? Oh, it knows this from the report annotations. Wow. I annotate this in the report, and now it puts it here that this is manually collected. Okay, I will put. I think until the formulas start. It. Okay. I think until the formulas start, like until here. But this will be part of the report. So docs. Report. Report. Flow, workflow. Okay, this agent is taking quite some time to build the monorepo. I mean, it's building a complete front end. Okay, so one admin user for adding categories. I think I'm gonna let this one run, and I will grab my tea, which should be done by now. Hmm. Yeah, I'll grab my tea, and then when I come back, we should be in the final touches, and then we should be able to view the UI. And then might do some small fixes and start building the dashboard logic on top of it. But this will be complex. So we might have to focus on something. So when I come back and it's not done, we can look at what to focus on first for building our dashboards. And I think it will be the claimable things, the claimable assets, because these are missing from my balance sheet right now. And it would be nice to have them. So page routes. Okay, I'm gonna already a bit excited to see how it renders out tables. Okay, let's look into this. So in a treasury report, it's the wrong treasury report. Is this the right one? This is the wrong one. It's also old. We will not need this now. Here, so I think outstanding claims is a nice view to have, and it's a good start. And then I think we will just work through the pivot tables, because that will actually throw up the problem very quickly. You can also look into the income statement. No, don't break. You will break. Don't get nervous. Come on. This process will break soon. This is just pasted. Is it? What is going on? Yeah, it's a pivot table from the Treasury sheet. Okay, let's just see. And it broke. No, it didn't. Okay, very good. Good. Completed implementation. Cool. Update README and potential implementation docs. So npm run dev. npm cd frontend npm run dev. Okay. Invalid next detected. Okay. Dashboard. I said I don't want a dashboard. Okay. Good, but this looks good. Cute. Save view. Does it break? Anyways, I will report this error first. Very good, thank you. Okay, we're updating the docs here. But this looks nice. I like it. I like it. Save view, load view. Okay, the button does nothing. I see. Okay, I will start writing a list of wishes for changes. Once we have the docs, we can work in both agents on this. Status. If I want something, I want some filtering here. Okay, so let's write some wishes we would like to have implemented. So okay, first when clicking on a column, it should just sort in the next direction. Columns don't need to be hidden by clicking at them. This can be done by selecting the columns button. Can I move them around? Okay, I don't need to move them around. I think that's it. The status and track column should be clickable. Solve this by have the name of the column and the arrows clickable, and they both result in this action. The status and track column should be clickable, and opposed to sorting, they open a drop down that allows me to select which values I want to. I can see values from this column we want to see. Dir auch frohes neues Jahr, Piki. Okay, read. Front end. I want the following changes. Okay. And then there's this bug fix. Okay, this works. This works. Treasury table works. Lovely. This works. Fellowship. In the referenda view, when clicking fellowship salary cycles, okay, this does not happen. Do I need to restart the server? Track. Okay, the sorting definitely is not working. Updated specs? No, not just the specs. Okay. Okay, we don't have SQLite installed. Okay, it just writes the program to read it, Laura. Okay. What's next? Good, so, okay. Okay, now I want to see the remaining, the outstanding claims. And to calculate the outstanding claims, I know that I need to calculate these fields. Valid from, expire at. Let's see if we have them. Okay, valid from, expire at we have. And these are formulas, right? So okay, so the formula says if state is approved, so if state is approved, then and N7 valid from equals today and expire at bigger than today. But what is the third state? So we have a ternary state. Okay, this is a weird state machine because it's either, it's either actually this should be a state. What about the, so this is expired. So it's approved and expired. So then the state is actually, it's like expired. But this is not a state. What the fuck? And then what we actually want is that we will just, okay, actually this is, if it's approved, so this is the claimable state, claimable. And when it's in the claimable state, we can show it in the current outstanding claims. Push D? What is push D? Push D. Save the current directory to a directory stack and then change the current working directory. This allows users to easily switch back. Okay. Working directory stack. Okay. Let's check the changes. think we might already be seeing them. Whoa, internal server error. npm run build. See that there is an MCP server for Chrome DevTools. So let's see, I have to read the blog post. MCP servers. Okay. Setting. Edit config. Open. MCP servers. Ah, Mann. Chrome DevTools. Okay. Claude is weirdly slow today. Cool, this broke. Was it this that broke my? So what's with you, my friend? You're still freezing. Okay. Okay, I think we have the new MCP server now. Good. Why did you not build npm run build? What's the problem here? It's building instantly. On call exception. Okay, it's weird. Good. How much context do we have left? Okay, we're doing good. So I need to restart the server. Okay. Good. Now I can start describing my new yeah, and I wanted to test sort status approved paid. Very good. And description. Actually, I want to be able to spam. It's searching across all columns. Crazy. But does it do that on the date and the server too? It's okay. Load view and save view is not working, right? Okay, but this does not matter for now. Good. Okay, so I want outstanding claims. Okay. So this is plan mode. Plan mode. We want to create our first database view now. We want to show two different things. Outstanding claims. Outstanding claims are Treasury spends that have been approved are valid and not expired. please update the spec, then implement it in the DB and the front end. Cool, thanks. Update the docs where necessary. If you have any learnings that are not in the README and should be shared with Claude, update Claude MD. Okay, so this is our creating our first view. We can check out what's next. I think what actually would also be interesting is maybe the stablecoin salary flows. Wait, let me check. I think for the balance sheet, this is what we need. But what about the... this is bounty spends. Fellowship sub-treasury and fellowship salary. I want to see if this is already working. So salary, let's look at fellowship first. This is slow. Why is it slow? And broke. Fetch salaries is wrong. Why do you think that? Okay, I feel like we need to fix the fetch salaries. Did you just break the server? Referendum. Fellowship. Okay, it's the fellowship treasury. Salary cycles. Okay. Salary cycles should actually also be pushed by the main script. So we will tell this to Node. Plan Node. Salary cycles should actually also be pulled by the main script. So either there is a confusion or the feature was not fully implemented. Please check salary plan. Maybe we never finished this. And the code in subsquare. to learn what is going on. Brief me, plan to solve the issue, and ask me questions if necessary. What is it? Something like this. Okay, so it feels like we are just pushing tables and views now, discovering more issues, just pushing problems out of the way. You're not in plan mode. What is fellowship salary claimants? Enter plan mode. First of all. Yes, integrate, including address resolution, which would be a new data provider. I think max salary claimants doesn't make sense. What is this? Salary claimants? Please make sure the code conforms to how we do things in data providers. Ah, yeah, okay. Instead, when we pull one salary cycle, we pull all the claimants for that cycle. we also want to pull the rank. Okay. Good. So what's going on here? Outstanding claim view implementation is complete. Beautiful. Let's see it. Outstanding claims. You're not available. Okay, so we need to run this. Can't open CD backend. And I want to change the config. Ah, no, it's okay. Okay, I actually want to show the log database now. Where's the log database? Yeah. We introduced a log data, a separate log database. You find it at app.db logs. app.db. And in this spec, I want a table in the front end that shows the log entries should be filterable, etc. Should have full features. Okay, how much context do we have? We're doing good. We're a little bit over. Okay, we might need to take an early break. Okay, so our data fetching is done. So we should be able to reload and we see outstanding claims. Okay, so this would have been good for this one here. Okay, I want to add a view for expired claims that is similar to outstanding claims. Check the spec. Expired claims are those that have status approved and expired is bigger than, smaller than today. Is smaller than today. Yeah. What salary data do you want per cycle? Payment records, individual payments per cycle from feeds endpoint. What are you talking about? Current claimants, current snapshot of who is registered attempting. Wow, good question. So per cycle, the payment records. Okay, I should be having a logs. Very good, lovely. Good, nice. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, good start. Update this spec. Create the DB view. Update the front end. Okay, next is we're getting a lot of views here. So we want to have a little bit of a menu on the left side. This is cute. It's cute. Good, so we're making the views work that are already on screen, but are not working. We have the logs. Log database not available. Why do you clean this? Let me now write the final plan to the plan file. Time format feeds endpoint uses milliseconds. Wait, what are we? Okay. Looks good, but did you already test if the process... let's just do it and then figure it out. You're not available. We have to run the script to make it available. No result, expired claims, but there is expired claims. But they might be old. Okay, good. Good, that works. Sometimes the front end says, but then when I reload, it actually gets the data. Something is off. Good, we're keeping the AI busy. We have 18% context left, so we will take a break soon. We should pre-render all of this once. We should pre-render all of this once after we pulled the data. Maybe. Don't think we need server-side rendering for this. We need to only render it when we update it, and then it can be cached. Yeah, okay, but it works. Okay, then I would like to have menus now. I would like to organize the existing menu into sections. Governance, fellowship, treasury views, system. That's good. Treasury should come above. Yes, but treasury views should go above fellowship. No, it's good actually like this. Okay, we should have a better view on parent. Oh, sweet. Nice. Lovely. Okay, and salary cycles should be working. We will need to run the script once. Okay, we have 15% context left. Okay, still shows empty. And still show empty even though I updated the DB. Install SQLite free, please. Okay, I'm gonna install SQLite so that I ran for you. Good, okay. Good, so it was working, like we previously had a script and it was just working against the script without checking if it works. But that looks good now, we will get that data. For the salary cycles, for the outstanding claims, I will just help myself today. This is typically the smartest thing. And create this view, this pivot table here. Upcoming claims by valid from. So it should be sorted by valid from. Ascending. Okay. Outstanding claims should be sorted ascending by valid from. Expired claims should be sorted descending by valid from. Okay, and then I want outstanding claims by month. But this is the same, right? And for the outstanding claims and expired claims, we will actually the dot USDC. We want to have the components. For outstanding claims and expired claims, we want. Do we want columns? We want columns. We want columns. We want columns to separate the claim by currency component. So there should be one for USDT, for dot, USDT, and USDC. Update the spec, the view, and the front end. Okay, we have 90% context, session tokens, not context. Okay. Then I would like to see the sum, the total here. Okay, I would say I'm gonna close the live stream in 10 minutes. Dot proposal time, USD proposal time. Why do you? Okay. This actually makes sense. Good, lovely. I want to see totals under the table to add up the dot USDT and USDC respectively. On the outstanding claims view, I would like to have a second table that groups the data by year and month, so that it looks like this. Month dot USDC USDT. What's our preference? We always have USDT first, right? Oh, we don't have it here. Let's see. Okay, now let's make USDC, USDT. It will figure that. Fetch salaries should not be used to populate our tables, only to test how we read data. I think this is true. Claims total component for table filter. Let's see. Oh, it's not invisible. Nice. Show it. Yeah, but the totals should be. Okay. The totals should not be separate from the table. It should look like a differently styled last row that says, how do I have this? Grand total in the leftmost column, and then in the columns with USD dot, USDC, USDT, there should be the totals. Also, the leftmost columns should be valid from dot USDC, USDT. The other columns can stay as they are. I Then we don't need a min width of 100%. There is not 1,000 salary cycles. Your script seems to be fetching non-existent data and not getting an error. Good, beautiful. Days left. Ooh, days left is good. Left is very good. Okay, I'm looking forward to the next session. 94% session tokens. Yeah, okay. Columns across the whole application that contain currency should be styled as follows. The ticker should be showing right of the number. Numbers should be rounded to full integers. That's it. E.g. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dot. How can you best ensure that this is done throughout the app? 95% session context. Looks good. Doesn't look good. So the columns don't align with the grand total and the actual numbers. It's a stale cache issue. We'll see that. Localhost can't be reached. restarting. What's going on? Throw error, unhandled error event. What's going on? And I say, hey, yeah. Okay, der Server reagiert nicht mehr. Nothing. Nothing. Okay, how many session tokens do we have? 5%. That should be working for one last fix. Ah. It's locked by another process. I don't know, man. Is this your way to solve your problems? One background task. Okay, now. Maybe the other process was holding me up. No, it's still the same. No, I am still running into the timeout. Even when calling just the main page. Why do you check the database connections instead of the place where the error happens? No. Bad AI. Bad AI. No, the server times out. And once I hit Control C to kill the server, it gives me this error. Just ignores me. Unbelievable. You are just wasting tokens, sir. 100%. Let's see. Good, we are at 100% session tokens, so we are done for today. Or for now. I will try later. Good, thank you for watching for now. Looks nice what we've got so far, so I will keep working on that, and it might be the Treasury report this time. All right, thank you for tuning in.